say
There's
Daylight,
nothing
if
wrong with
Greedy
that.
was to
There's
say,
nothing wrong with you feeling Jazz is
if
better than
Greedy
you. What
was
I
to
was
say,
asking is about an argument that I've heard you made on the spaces in
but
regards
it was
to
two
her
different
only having. No,
arguments,
no,
is what
listen.
I'm saying to you.
Yo,
Okay,
If
no,
just say
Greedy,
yeah,
that.
no,
Just say
no,
that.
yeah,
Why did you make
no.
it? No, hold on. Why did?
I ain't mean to do that right there. I wasn't trying to cut you off. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, 40. Surf
No,
was
no, no.
never
I was not trying to.
disputing
He just
Daylight
made it
being God
personal. I
tier.
simply heard an
Exactly. I
argument
said he's
before.
God tier multiple times. If
So
if
I'm
Greedy
not
would
talking about.
if
I
Greedy
just
would
said
have
it's not
just
about him.
said,
I asked you
yo,
a question about an argument that I've heard you
if
present on
Greedy
the
would have
spaces,
said
right?
Daylight is God tier, I don't care how many times
This
he
is
come
why this
out.
is
I
so
would have
No, can
said
I
you
corny,
just
right.
can
bro.
I
This
just
is
say
why this
something?
is so corny. Because
40, can I just say something real quick?
I simply asked a question. He made it personal,
Yo,
like him saying that
Jazz is
Jazz.
amazing.
No,
No,
She's
no,
the
listen.
God.
no,
Jazz
40.
is
I've never seen a
amazing.
No,
person get
40.
Jazz
an
is
Hold up.
8/8
amazing,
for
and
the
I've never
40.
show.
taken that
But
from
she's
her.
good.
It's my
Stop trying to
fault
make it
because
seem
me and
like it's
Surf.
something it's not. All I
Nah, it
asked
was
was a
my fault. Me
question.
and Surf were already in a heated argument. I think that the answer to your question is what you said was a valid point,
All
but
I was
Surf
asking was
wasn't
Greedy. All I'm
yet.
saying was like I've heard other conversations like in the past, like different things like that. I just was saying like I know he's made a strong argument as far as like basically she doesn't have to come out that much. She's fire. She comes out, she does her thing, and she still makes an impact. Only asking what is the difference with the argument here. He just
So
made it like
so
it's a,
Okay,
he just
no,
made it like
Greedy's
it's
the
a
so
fucking
mediator,
personal thing.
since
It's
Greedy's the
not that. Don't
mediator,
fucking do that.
Greedy, ask me a question. Greedy,
no,
ask
I
me.
can
Ask.
explain it
Hold
to
on,
her
Greedy.
real
Hold on,
simply,
Greedy.
Stop
Surf.
making
Ask
it
me.
seem like it
Ask me.
like
Does
it's that
Jazz have the
serious. It's
best
not
pen and
that deep. Stop
ask me?
making it
Does
seem
Jazz
like I'm
have the
mad.
best pen and
Yo,
female
Surf.
battle rap? Hold on, Greedy. Hold on.
Does
Ask me.
does
Does
Jazz have the best pen in female battle rap?
no? She does not.
And
Now,
that
now,
was not.
now. Wait,
Listen,
wait,
Not
wait,
nigga,
wait.
40,
that
Let
was
40.
me
never
That's the
finish.
his
only
fuck.
difference.
Hold
We
on
were
one
talking
second.
about
Let me
pens
finish.
and
I had to
skills
mute because
versus tier.
she's not gonna let us talk. So let me stop. Just hold on. Greedy. And the question that she just asked me when she brought up my friend Jazz, because I also pay attention to context and stuff like
My
that.
friend.
She didn't just say the battle rapper. She didn't just say Jazz. Like she act like we kids and we
It is your
stupid.
friend.
Like we
So
not
why wouldn't I
adults.
mention that?
So she
It is
say
your
something
friend.
like
Did I
your
say
friend
that
Jazz.
bitch or
So
that bitch
what's
you can't rap? I said your friend. Stop
but
making
why are
it
you
seem
what's
like
the cursing
stop
for? Now why you
because
sound so upset?
I'm gonna tell you why I'm upset. I'm upset because I feel like you twisted my question to make it personal. I
But
simply
we
was
all
asking. No,
hear
no,
you
no,
though.
no, no, no. I hear you, but I literally, whether I articulated the correct way or not, I literally was asking you because I've heard you make spaces. I've heard you make argument in spaces about Jazz is fire. She doesn't need to come out. When she comes out, she does her thing. Her pit, she's fire. I'm not arguing that.
Right.
I just was asking, what is the difference in the argument that you're making with this, with
Now
Daylight
can I answer
necessarily
it?
coming out
After
every now and
you
again
said
and
that,
not being as
after you
outside as
said
much as that's all it was. So let me
okay,
tell you,
so
and
after you
I'm
said
gonna be
what you're
quiet 2
asking, can I
seconds.
answer now?
Yes, please just don't make it personal, bro, because I literally was asking about an
Okay,
argument that I've heard you make.
me
That's
and a
all.
few others, when you asked the question, it sounded personal as opposed to just a broad question. So I'm say that first.
Uh-huh.
Now to answer your question, the reason is the question that you just asked me didn't
Uh-huh.
say anything about the one word that we're talking about.
What?
Pen. Goods don't come out. Goods come out every once in a blue. Moot come out every once in a blue. I said I feel like
I didn't
Jazz is.
mention
Hold
Pin
on, let me. Why
specifically.
can't I finish? I
Go
just let
ahead,
you
go
ask
ahead,
the
go ahead,
question.
go ahead, go ahead.
I feel like Jazz is better than you bitches strictly because she's just better than you bitches. This not talking about Penn. This not talking about how many times she battled. Nothing. The argument between Daylight and Tay Rock, we're completely just talking about their pins. It don't matter if like we're not talking about how many times somebody comes out. We're just talking about who writes better or who puts together better material. So when you pop up and say, oh, well, what makes Jazz any different than Daylight? What makes them different is we're not talking about
I
Jazz's
said, what
pen
was the difference in the argument? And there you go.
because I
It's the
think 40
pin.
bars can write around. Like I think 40 bars' pen is
No,
better
no,
than
no. All you had to
Jazz's.
do was
I
say it
think
was the pin
certain women's
argument. I
pen
heard you.
is better
I
than
came in where I
Jazz's.
came in. I hear you.
Yeah, you joined a
That's all I'm
little
saying.
late.
Right.
So
I
Surf,
came in and that's why I asked you. I didn't come in talking crazy about nobody. I asked you. You jumped out the window because I've taken a loss to Jazz like I was being shady. I asked
No,
you a
I didn't
question.
jump out the
now
No,
I
no, no,
will
window.
no,
It
no.
was
say
the way
It's
40.
cool.
we're on
If
the
you
spaces.
had been
All a
here from
person
the
can go
jump,
off of is context.
Right. So
If
and
I
all I
say yo
and I can
bitch,
only
you
ask you
gonna
about
take
what
it for
I've
what I
heard thus
said.
far.
Yo
Right. I
bitch.
can only
If
ask you
you
about
say
what I've
yo
heard thus
nigga,
far.
I'ma go off what I hear. Yo nigga. So if you pull up and say a quick like you come on,
About
we all
wins. If
adults.
about wins. So if you specify just to me just now, like I said, about strictly about pins, I understand that. I get it. I came in and I'm hearing, okay, this argument you guys you're making basketball references and someone putting up a certain amount of games and this one only putting up one a game. So I asked a fucking question. You made it personal. I
I
didn't
didn't
shade
No,
make
we
it
you.
all
personal.
40. We all good. We all good.
That's
We
what
all
I'm
good.
saying.
No,
I
We
didn't
you're
all
take away
good.
taking it
from your
personal.
opinion. I said when you say this about your friend Jazz or whatever, I'm trying to understand. So is it something that like it only applies to her? It was like it
Because
wasn't a
imagine,
fucking.
okay, but now imagine
I
where I'm come from. That's like when you talking to
mhm.
somebody and they like, we talk about Midnight Madness, and somebody pull up and say, "Yo, how your little business doing?" Come on, stop it,
I didn't
40.
put
We all
little.
adults.
I
That's
didn't put. See, the
crazy.
difference is I hear
We
you,
all
but
adults. But you
I didn't
asking
put
me,
little in
listen,
front of it.
my mother
See,
told, listen,
that's a different
Why can't
analogy
it's
because I
we
not
didn't
be
put little in front of it.
friends?
I said your
Why
friend.
can't
I
we
said
right.
your
be
But
friend.
friends?
listen,
Little is
Why
different.
this is
can't
Little,
we
you
be
got it, sir.
friends?
So
this
first,
is the
I
spaces
don't have
though.
the
All we
energy
can
for
go
this,
off
but
if somebody, this not text message or nothing.
Little and your friend is not the same. I hear you. You got it.
Okay, but
I'm
Jazz
not
is a
taking it.
normal, like, so my
I didn't
question is,
say your little friend. I didn't say little. I didn't say. I said your
what's the
friend
difference though?
because I specified who she is to you.
Is
I
Jazz
didn't
the battle
downplay.
rapper
Little
still
is
not?
downplaying
Okay, so
something.
my
What's up with your
question
little business?
is
Oh,
Jazz
you
a
got a
battle
little
rapper
shirt
with or
on.
without
Oh,
being
what's
my
up with this
friend?
little? You got
It's
it.
so
You got
funny
it.
how women
No,
really
no,
be
no, no,
thinking they
not women,
smarter than
not women,
everybody.
not women. I specifically
Is
asked you
Jazz
a
the battle
question.
rapper
If
still
there
a
was
battle rapper without being
miscommunication,
my friend?
if there was miscommunication in how you interpreted my, I get it, and I'm willing to say that. But
It
all
ain't no
you said was,
miscommunication in
no,
how I
it
tell
is,
you.
it
said it
is,
how
because
you want. You're a
you
Capricorn,
made
just
it
like
seem like it
you
was a
said it how
fucking
you
extra
wanted me
shit
to
about
hear it.
Jazz, and I literally
You
was trying
said
to
it how you wanted
understand
me to hear
what
it.
was the difference in
I
analogies,
bet
my
you if you
nigga.
would have
You
said
wanted it to be
Casey
something
or
it's not.
Hustle or
You
anybody else,
wanted
you
it to
would have
be
said
something it's
my
not.
friend.
What?
What's
What
the
the fuck
difference
does
when
that
you?
Cause
have?
I'm
What's the
not your
difference
What
when
friend,
the
you're?
fuck
nigga.
does that have
What's
to
the
do with
difference when you're
everything
friends?
else that was said?
Come on, bro. You could tell, like you just make it feel
I
like
can't
it's.
believe
That's
Hustle
all.
been so
You make it
quiet.
feel like it's still like you still think about it.
No, you still think about it. I asked you a question about an
Nah,
I
analogy.
don't.
come on, sir. I want to say
Hey
this just
y'all.
Bro,
before we.
40 my nigga, but she pulled no 40.
I
She
know,
pulled up.
No.
I
Hold on, sir, please.
She pulled up and she said, like, bro, listen, like that's like, oh, like
I'm
your
with
ex
you.
saying,
I was
yo, how
there.
your little girlfriend doing?
No, I'll
Like it's
say
really
this,
like
sir.
that. So
I
we
see
arguing
why
about
you felt
Daylight and
like
Tay
she
Rock, and
said
then she
that.
say, yo, what's the difference
She
when
ain't
your
mean
friend
that
do it
though.
though? That's shade at regardless of how you want to. We only in the spaces, bro. So I can't see your face. I don't know what you talking. I didn't press the mute button, by the way. That was greedy. I can't see your face. I don't, you saying it like that is saying it like whatever you trying to say with Daylight. Oh, but when your friend do it is cool. That's literally no difference. Come on, my nigga, we grown.
I
And
just
I don't
want
even
to.
give a fuck because it's not that serious. It ain't like I'm mad or not gonna text 40 after this, but that's literally no difference. Oh, so it's cool when Jazz do it though, right? That's
No,
no
just
difference of a question. Bro, I'm 32. I know how to ask a question left, but it really mean right. That's all that's saying. So how that go for Daylight, but don't go for your girl Jazz? That's what
can
that
I?
question mean.
Nah,
Who the
nah.
fuck y'all think y'all
Can I
talking
get
to?
back
Y'all
to the
like
debate?
boo
I
boo
just
the
wanted to
fool?
make my point before we move on to something else or other people chip in. So I just want like okay. So when you use the example like
we
okay,
grown and you
Daylight just
giving everybody like kids so that you can
no,
I
that
criticize.
just
was
That's
no, that
on
was
my
me.
fuck.
daughter.
40
I didn't
on
press
God. That
You
mute.
was
That
got
was
it.
on
greedy.
You
God.
got
That
it.
was me.
You got it.
Look, she want to be so mad and so spiteful. I hate people like
On
that.
God,
Like
that was
Honey,
me.
that
why
wasn't
can't you
40.
even
put this
me.
muted so that we can hear
Greedy did it.
everything that you say? That's corny.
Greedy
You
just.
got it.
Are you stupid?
I
You
muted
Greedy
because
got
there
did
it.
was
it.
like three other people
Don't.
talking too.
You got
40.
it.
That was me.
Greedy, will you tell her that
It was
again?
me.
Greedy,
It
will you
was
tell her
me.
who did that? Thank you. She keeps. I ain't pressed the mute button one time, but every time she pop up, she want to talk about. See, you so. I didn't press the mute button not one time. That's greedy. What are you talking
Okay.
about?
My apologies. Do you not press it any other time? Stop making it seem like it's something that you don't do.
It is
Yo,
Like,
something
stop
because
playing
you
with
come
me
keep
and stop
saying
on.
making it
stuff
seem
that
like
is
I do.
not.
You got it.
You
You
mad
got
as
it.
hell
What
up
up?
here
What?
tonight. What's
What
wrong?
Hold
You
on.
up?
on
Hey,
your
What?
sir.
period?
So let me say this, sir.
You on your
So,
period tonight?
No,
sir,
I
when
told
you
you I was on
say,
my
"Oh
period a
my
week ago
God,"
on my birthday. It's over. The fuck? No, that was over a week ago.
So why you seem so upset? You talk about
I'm
I'm
not
pressing
upset
mute
about
buttons. I'm
anything.
not.
I literally asked you a
50,000 on my
question.
head is
You
40.
know, it's
I'm
a little
disrespect.
sorry
question.
that Jazz
No,
beat
don't
you.
be
40. I
sorry.
wish you
Don't be
could have those
sorry.
days
I'm
back.
sorry.
40.
I'm sorry
I
for
wish you could have
asking a
those days
simple
back.
question. I'm sorry
I,
for asking
I
a
wish you could
question.
have those
Dead
days
ass.
back. 40.
Let me.
I
I'm sorry for
apologize.
asking a question
Yo,
and calling
sir.
you your friend.
I
I
take
didn't
my
say
Lux
little in front
loss.
of anything, and you
I
just
take
try
my
to make me
Lux
look
loss in
crazy saying I
stride,
said
bro.
little.
I take my 40 loss in stride, bro. It's
Nah,
over.
because you just try to make me look like a clown, like I said, little
No,
friend. I
you
didn't say
made
any of that. I
yourself.
said
You
your
you
Oh
friend.
took the
my
I
time.
God.
said because
You
that's what
took
it
the
seemed.
time to
Yo,
stop and
yo,
say it,
yo,
and
sir.
everybody
Listen, I
laughed.
never,
Like
I never,
it's
I
not
never
me.
said that that wasn't what it was. I literally came in and I did feel like maybe you were making an exception exception for your friend. I wanted to ask about it. There's no way around that.
I'm glad you just
hear me
admitted
out, bro.
for me.
Hear me out so I can be quiet. I don't want to argue
I
with you, right?
appreciate that, 40. Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Pick it. You didn't give me an
I did
opportunity
say
to
that
articulate myself.
because I thought you were making an exception for your friend.
No,
Thank you.
and
You
that's
just
how
said
I
everything
felt.
I was
That's
saying.
why. Listen, that's that's originally why I came into it. That's why I said it wasn't a personal attack on Jazz. It wasn't nothing. I felt as though when I came in on the back end, I felt like you could have been making an exception for your friend. It
Thank
wasn't
you.
like little Jazz or nothing. So that's what I got annoyed, because I wasn't slighting Jazz. I felt as though you could have potentially have been being biased in this situation. So
And
I
that's all I
asked
was
about,
and that's all I
yeah,
was saying before we
right.
start
Listen,
arguing.
when you
I
are
was
no, no,
telling you
when you
that you asked me
articulated
that
it to me,
question in reference to specifically Jazz, and it had
right.
nothing to do
But
with
no,
Tay Rock
no,
or
hear me
Daylight.
out. It's hard to hear where you're coming from if I feel like you're not getting where I'm coming from. And it's like, I'm not being shady towards Jazz. I'm more so being shady towards you. I feel like you're making an exception to the rule. So it had nothing to do with Jazz. Hear me out, right? And then when you specified like, yo, we're talking about pens, I was like, okay, I see where you're coming from. It wasn't that literally I asked a question. I didn't accuse you of anything. I came into the situation, I asked you a question.
I
I
I
didn't
get
accuse
you.
you of
I'm with you
shit.
1,000. I just don't like the like because what happens is normally because I'm Surf is like, the title
You,
says Surf Bullies 40 or Surf. It makes it like it plays victim when it's like, oh Surf, I was just asking a question, but then 10 minutes later you
no, no,
say,
I'm like this
hold
all
on,
the
wait, I
time.
just let you talk. I shut up. It
Mm-hmm.
makes it seems like you're playing victim and I'm doing the bullying when you say, Surf, I'm just asking you a question. I'm just asking you a question. But then 12 minutes later, you admit, oh, nah, I wasn't just asking a question. I was trying to see if you were being specific for your friend, which is all I said 12 minutes ago. I
I
said
never got
40.
the opportunity to complete
I
myself.
said 40.
You're not
I
talking to
said
Yoshi,
40.
so I'm
You're
never
pulling
playing
up
victim.
trying to
If
be
I have the
talking about
opportunity to
Jazz
articulate
specifically.
myself, you would have heard it. That's all. Yeah. No, no. I just felt as being petty when you was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You're being smart about Jazz. Like, it wasn't, that's what took me to the left. Like, it had nothing to do with her. I mentioned her because I felt like you were being biased because that's your
I
friend. That was
can't
the
even be
example I had
biased
to
toward
use.
Jazz because
It wasn't about Jazz, like
she
a
doesn't even
personal
fit the
dig.
pen conversation that we having. You
And
included Jazz
I
into
hear
this.
you, but I'm just telling
Yeah,
you
you
where I
pulled
came
up
in,
and
and
brought
I hear
Jazz in this
you.
conversation. She not even
And
here.
I'm telling you why I did.
She not even here.
Yeah, and I'm
Y'all
telling you
battled
why
3 years ago.
I'm
40. It's
telling you
over.
why I did.
Bury it.
You keep
40
see,
beats Daylight, by the way.
and here's
It's
where the
cool. I think
problem
about
comes,
luck
because it's
sometimes
not
too. I
about
should
our
have did
battle.
better.
I simply no.
Trying to help
This
her.
is where I'm going to the left, because I simply asked a question about, you making an argument about, Daylight and Rock, or his impact, whatever the case may be. I came in on the back end of it. So I asked a fucking question. The only reason why I mentioned Jazz is because I legitimately have heard use her as an argument, as far as like, she don't gotta come out like that, she's still better than you bitches. So with that argument, I came into this argument, I'm trying to feel like, what would be the difference in
And
Daylight
let's
not
be
having to come
clear.
out as often as Rock, and still no, hear me out, and being better than niggas. That is all I
I'm with
asked.
you.
It wasn't a
I'm with
personal
you.
dig at Jazz. It wasn't on that. So I feel like
And
you
let's be
took it
clear,
somewhere
I
else. So
totally
that's
look
why I
at
got annoyed.
female battle rap different in a whole anyway period. It's like if you look at women's basketball and men's basketball, I'm not watching no female games and niggas is dunking, throwing alleys, none of that. A chick just got Woman of the Year last year and she had 2 battles. So first of all, it's 2 total different worlds anyway. So it's nothing, it's no conversations. Jazz and Daylight are 2 different stratospheres. 40 and Tay Rock are 2 different worlds anyway. A bitch could battle twice and get Woman of the Year. Woman of what year?
Mm-hmm. Woman of the female battle rap year. So I hear what you're
Again, I
saying,
just don't
but I
like.
just
So
asked you.
it's my opinion. That's all. It's
I hear what you're saying.
just
I'm
my
just telling
opinion.
you what I. Yeah.
Just my
Yeah.
opinion.
I'm
And
just
I
telling you what
usually
I
don't
came
jump
into the.
like if I'm
I
in a
just came into the
if
conversation
I'm in a
asking.
spaces
It wasn't a dig
if
at
I'm in a
Jazz.
spaces and I jump in and
Yeah.
I
It wasn't.
don't like and they're
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes into a conversation, I probably if I don't know
Mm-hmm.
the left or the right, I probably won't. I mean, I'll ask a question a little less seeming like
See,
I'm.
that's the difference with me and you. I asked a question because I didn't know. I didn't come at you
I didn't say
accusing
you
you of
accused
nothing.
me of
I feel as
anything.
though
Your
I don't know.
question just
Yeah. No, I didn't say you did. I said what I did. I know how to make I statements. I didn't say you did anything. I said I came into the situation. I was on the back end of the conversation, so I asked
and I'm
a
cool with
question.
that.
Now
I'm
I don't
cool
know.
with that.
Now I don't
It's
know. I
multiple
don't know if
people
it came
listening.
off the
40.
wrong
So
way.
a few besides
I
me, Surf
I hear
aside,
you.
when people
I
heard
don't know.
that,
I
it
hear you,
sounded
but
like you were
you're the one who's
shading Jazz.
answering.
I could
You,
show you a DM right now.
and
Like,
I don't
what's the hate towards
listen. That's
Jazz?
what you say because you heard it, but there's nothing that I said about her
I'm not
outside of her
saying that
being
you
your
did,
friend.
Carlisa.
I didn't even no, I hear you.
Your
What I'm
question
telling
could
you
have been
is
taken
that
wrong.
how, and I clearly were saying the same thing. I said if it was perceived wrong, I get it, but never once did I say anything. This wasn't about Jazz. I
So
never
can I
said
ask you a
little friend
question?
Jazz. I said your friend.
So
I
why
said
didn't you
your
use
friend. I didn't say
Gaddis?
little in
She
front of
only
it.
battle every once in a blue.
Because Surf, I never heard you make an argument for Gaddis. You're not
But it's
listening
other
to me.
battlers. It's other
I heard
battlers that don't
you're not
battle
okay.
that
Again,
much.
clearly you're not getting what I'm saying. I I use Jazz as an example because I've heard you make an example as far as Jazz not having to come out as often and still being better than people. When I came into this
Shayna better than a
conversation,
lot of
I
people
was under
too.
the
She don't
impression
come out either.
I was under the impression that
Yo,
the
sir, I'm done
conversation
with you.
was, you're not listening. You clearly not. Like it's like whatever. But you got it. Because I just told you and you're not listening. Either you don't
I
want to listen or
heard
you don't give a
everything
fuck.
you
Like
said, and I said I agree.
okay,
What you
so
want me to
you want to
say?
keep asking me this question?
40 just
Because
tell me
Jazz is the
beat
only
daylight.
Jazz. I just told you, Jazz is the only person that I've heard you make an argument that she doesn't have to come out as often and she's better than people. That's what I thought the argument was about. That's what I asked you, bro. Not that serious.
It's never that
That's
serious.
why.
Like, it's never that serious.
I never heard you argue about Gaddis or Shane or anybody else. I asked that.
I heard you when you said it the first time when you told me what you asked. I got you. I
Okay.
got you. I told you how I felt about this. I don't want to get you started
Good.
back up.
Like as long as we're on the same page.
We is on the
As long
same
as we're on the
page.
same